Welcome to Slayerfest 98, and we're back with another edition, maybe possibly the final one for the time being, of Buffy Revival News. I'm Ian Carlos Crawford.
And I'm Zachary Patton Garcia, and you should expect possible spoilers and speculation talk from here out because we're gonna
Yes.
get into it.
Yes, nothing that Zach and I would consider big spoilers, because neither of us are that big on spoilers. They don't bother me that much, but I feel
Mhm.
like, but some people might consider them spoilers.
I think so,
Yeah.
maybe.
Did we see that it wrapped?
The pilot did wrap. Okay, so the pilot of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, New Sunnydale is what we're going with until
Yes.
otherwise told. The pilot has wrapped, directed by Chloe Zhao. Um, and we got a flurry of photographs from Chloe Zhao herself and Sarah Michelle Gellar, and that has been pretty fucking exciting to go through. Like when that popped up on my feed, I like jumped out of my skin because it's
I
just
like
so fucking fun. And the like main photo is her and Chloe Zhao holding steaks in an
so
office. I
good.
was like immediately zooming into everything in the office. I can see some artwork up there. I can see some costume photos.
Right? I was so excited when I saw them. I love that when you text me, you didn't even send the link because you know I'd already seen it. You're just like, well, the rep photos.
There we go. This is what we were waiting on, y'all. This is what we were waiting on. So they're
Yes,
here.
they're
What do
here.
you think? What did you get from them? I guess.
So because I have like a source, I didn't realize this at first. The hat, the picture where she's wearing the hat and holding the
Hmm.
figure, the hat says mother, and apparently she wore that on set a lot. Like that was like her set hat,
Did
which I
she?
love.
Because she just learned that word. So
She
you know
just,
what? New
you know,
information.
she's
Yes, and
leaning
she has
in.
the Buffy the Vampire Slayer action figure, which
End
is
of
like
days
warms my heart. Because she
deluxe
first
action
posted
figure.
that. Yeah, she first posted that with the script, and I love that she's basically been carrying that around set with her.
Right? Like
That's
I feel like that's
nice.
what she's been doing. Like she just always
Yeah.
has it like on
Hmm.
her. I am like, I need to get her one of my custom Buffy figures so she can have that. Um, so if anyone can get it to her, like call up
There,
Evan Ross Cats.
there's another photo actually here. Like you don't really get too much from these photos, but
Yeah.
what you can get is like I get a lunchroom setting at a school. I can see that set. I can
Oh,
see a
you're right.
set
That's what
that
that
looks
outside is.
very similar. This one right here. That looks like right outside of fucking Sunnydale.
It
So
it does look like where they like she talked to the first Slayer and like
where the fuck that shit looks like where the crater went down, where the bus was parked, and they were all
oh,
looking out because we have to have some tie somewhere, right? And I don't know if we'll have like a
I could
flashback or
see that as
anything
I
like
could
that,
see
but
that.
like they're going to show us the desert landscape as a representative of like old Sunnydale is what I'm guessing, and then new Sunnydale will be all like lush green grass, really beautiful trees, things like that.
I thought it looked like the just the desert where they she goes out.
Could
But
be both. It could be both. I see a
I think you're
telephone
right.
pole, so that's the only thing that I'm
Yes.
like, yeah.
I think you're right. But I do think in Restless 2 you do see a car drive by in the background apparently and
Pause.
like
We're not supposed to. We're not supposed
yeah,
to talk
yeah.
about that.
But yeah, no, that's I was thinking the like Slayer retreat thing, but I could see it being that that
Well,
sounds more correct. You sound more correct.
yes.
Sorry,
There's another
I didn't mean
photo.
to
I'm trying to
excite you too
find
much
it.
by saying you were right.
Yeah, there's another photo here that looks very crater-ish. So it's like down in there.
I
And
literally
there's
was
like
just
a
was
boom pole
you're
above
right
that.
because
And
I
because
was
what we're going to
just
talk about coming up with the vampires as well kind of lends itself to an older Sunnydale sort of like crater-esque setting.
she also just looks great, right? And she seems to be having
Yes.
fun, which is so nice to see too.
Hmm.
No shade. If she doesn't like you or like what she's doing, there's not a lot of Instagram posts. But if she's like doing posts like this, I think she's like into
She's
it.
having a lot of fun. There's a
Yeah.
photo where she posted of this, her Buffy action figure. Now, in that photo, they are in the background. If you look, it's that crater setting,
Oh, is
that crater
it?
looking setting, the ones with like higher mountains. And if you look on the screens right behind it, you can see lights and stuff. And that looks to me like some sort of construction zone.
Huh. Man, you're
Yes.
fucking Veronica Mars over here. You're bringing up
I
these
told you I
lines.
zoom. I zoom. Okay. Don't post nothing, Sarah, because I will find it. I will lighten the image and I will zoom and fuck with contrast. So I'm wondering if there's some sort of like construction because again, new Sunnydale, so they would be building still maybe.
Right.
And if we're gonna get sort of like construction thing, because it's giving me a lot of like Buffy, Bring on the Night, and when
Yeah.
she's in there fighting and like teaching young
Love a Buffy
Slayers
fight
how
in
to
a
fight an Uber
construction.
Vamp
Yeah.
and things like that, which I'm already convinced there's gonna be an Uber Vamp here. And bringing back a sort of like nighttime um, um, construction zone setting would be really cool. And I that looks like construction zone to
It
me.
does. And I mean, the one thing I feel like the revival will keep in, tradition with the original show is these like long ass night shoots.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know if she'll always be doing that, but that's gonna have to be a thing, you know. But I'm
Cause
glad they're
like,
on location instead of on a fucking green screen. That's really promising. That's really nice to see.
I don't know how it quite works with this being a pilot presented. Like, I don't quite understand all of that,
Hmm.
but it does feel like it feels like this has a budget.
Yeah, the pilot has to be their shot to get a series order to make it look as good as possible and put forth the best story possible. And so I would imagine it has more budget than maybe the rest of it'll have, or maybe the rest of the budget will have to be dispersed a little evenly over episodes. But
But
this one is like kind of like your go for it.
is it like for the budget, it's like the production company just has to put everything forward
Ian, I have
then?
never been on a set. I have no idea.
Oh,
I'm speaking
I
in
don't
my ass right
know. I
now.
feel like shit like that. I don't know. If you speak confident to me, I'm like, all right, sure.
Listen, I feel confident, but I have no idea what I'm talking about. But yeah, and like even the school setting is it's very Sunnydale, you know, it's got the brick, it's got the like
The
student seats,
outside.
and yeah, so I'm very into it. I'm very into all of the things we got, and that's the greatest news because it was rumored a little bit that it was the pilot had finished and had wrapped, but this is official confirmation, and so next steps, editing, post production, all of that, putting it together, presenting it to whoever the fucking powers that be are. Cordelia Chase, if you need to approve this series, like fucking do it, okay?
So, and her caption even says, so since there is very little I can share about my last 3 weeks, here is the tiniest glimpse. And that's why there's like not, these are like crumbs of crumbs. They're not
Yeah.
like showing anything. And I appreciate the fact that she's like, yeah, we're gonna keep it all surprise because she knows the shit leaked.
Hmm.
Like, so she's just like, you saw that. That's it. But yeah, no, I love, I keep thinking of how excited I'm gonna be seeing Buffy with a budget.
Yes. It's well,
Right.
and like I wonder what budget is because it could be similar to what the older Buffy budget did have, maybe a little bit more, but because there's so much advancement in technology these days, they can do a lot more with that budget. But also things are more expensive, so they might be able to do it like a little bit less than.
Fair.
Well, it's exciting all the way around, and it's exciting to know that this is a project that didn't just sit in the
Yes.
talks phase for like ever and ever, and then Sarah comes out and was like, "Well, it just didn't go anywhere,
Yeah.
right? We have a pilot here, and listen, if the shit doesn't get picked up." We need to call in every single source or anybody that we have to get this shit leaked because I will not go my life without seeing this.
No. I do feel like even if it's not good, it'll get picked up just because I feel like
Mhm,
Hulu's like this will do well no matter what.
mhm.
Like right,
Maybe,
that kind of feels
maybe. I
like
don't know. I don't know. I think the fans do really need to rally around something like this. I think, assuming it's going to be a safe bet is not the smart move. Like we do need to be hyping this
oh,
shit up and
no,
like
yeah.
really spreading numbers all across
I
social
mean like
media.
ordering the series. Like I do think that
Yeah.
is kind of like I feel like Hulu barely needed a full pilot to order it. Like it does feel like
Yeah, I
and
do
I
get the
was
sense. I get the sense we're getting the full
yeah. And
series.
I was told it was more of a formality than anything else because
Hmm.
that's just how it's done. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's kind of the vibe I'm getting is that. But
Yeah.
I do agree with you. Like, we have to hype it up. Sometimes I dip into Twitter, whatever, and I posted about her post of it wrapping. And immediately it was like people saying why it's going to be bad and why they don't trust Sarah
See, just
Michelle
stop
Gellar.
doing it.
And
Stop
like,
doing it. Just stop doing it. You don't have to watch it.
no,
Like
you
this
don't.
series existing is going to do nothing for the product that has already been made, put together, and put out there.
That is
That is
still our
part of
beloved
history that
show. Yeah.
exists right now. Like this does nothing for you. If this is not for you, peacefully step away,
Yeah.
right? Like
Like,
Wolfpack was not for us. We kept reviewing it because we had already started, but like I had a season two come around. It just wasn't for me, and I wasn't gonna stick around with it,
right.
right? Um, this is for me. This is for you. This is
This
something
is
that we are looking forward to. And like,
particularly
just
for
just
you and I.
just go somewhere. Go somewhere,
Yeah.
please. Please, y'all. Okay, let us have this.
Because I do really, that is like a concern I have just because, I mean, and I love season one, but like it did take time to get to like the highs of like Jenny Calendar getting chased and killed and
Hmm.
like, or even Prophecy Girl, just like to get to that, like, that is, I think, the best episode of season one. And like, I like for a show to be able to grow. And it feels
Yeah.
like often now shows don't, they like, don't get the chance.
They're not allowed to grow, and I think a benefit that this one does have is that the people involved, especially Sarah, knows this character already and knows the journey that she's already been on and what the possible coming up journey would look like. And so it's not like them initially needing to find their footing like a, their newly born baby giraffe, right? Like
Right.
they're like, they're a teen already,
And
So
the universe is already kind of like built, quote unquote. So like,
yes, it's there. So they have a better shot here and they just have to do a good job. I'm sorry, but like, this is not an age where something can flop for a little bit and then, oh, I don't know, and just like that did. They did get 3 seasons,
but they were always had good ratings though, right?
and just like that was never going to fail. Like even if it was just recently canceled, that it was a very successful show. Successful enough that the main actors were making $1 million per episode each on that show. That was a very big property. Buffy is not as big. So they do have to do a little bit better. But I have trust. I have faith.
I do
So
think I always think of Sex and the City and Buffy as like the two like cultural cornerstones of TV from that era. Like I really
yeah.
do. And I know I'm a little biased, but I didn't even watch Sex and the City, but I still do think of it
It's true.
as
Everybody knew Sex in the City
yeah.
though. You didn't have to watch it.
Yeah, and
Um,
like my high school best friend Lauren, we both later came out at the same time. She loves Sex and the City. I love Buffy. So we kind of like sometimes I would watch an episode with her. Sometimes she like Potential aired on my actual birthday, and that was what I did for my birthday that year was you're coming over and we're watching Buffy. And she was like, fine. I was like, there's a new
exactly.
episode. I'm not
A good
missing
way
it.
to leverage a birthday.
Yeah.
I applaud. I applaud. So this pilot is finished and wrapped, and I'm just excited to see where it goes. And
Yeah.
I feel like we are going to get something. But I've seen people tell me that I'm wrong, but I do think we are going to get something before the end of the year is up. I think we're going to get like a good, nice teaser for this before the end of the year.
I agree with that because I saw people. I think it was in on Reddit. I looked so many places for the rumors, I forget, but I think it was on Reddit. I have like notifications on for the Buffy revival Reddit. I saw people saying whether they thought it would be like 2026 or 2020. I saw people saying 2028. I'm like,
I,
2028 is
I
too
don't
far
think no, no.
away.
I do think 2026. I think this is on a little bit of a faster track than your Stranger Things.
Right,
You know,
right.
I
Like,
think they're trying to get something out here, especially because Disney is not. I mean, they're Disney. They're never going to be poor, but
right, right.
they need their properties out. They need this shit to go out and make money right now. So I'm super excited, and I guess kind of bouncing off of this, there has been a script that has leaked. So even more spoiler talk. Here's your warning, because some of things, the details in the script match up. The things that I have heard from the script have matched up to this because Ian was lucky enough to get a copy or offered a copy. Correct?
Correct. I was
Explain.
offered.
You
Yes.
explain.
I was offered a copy of the script, but I actually don't want to read it. I may break. I may say yes, but I said no because then it makes the temptation less if I don't have it. But it was a friend that was a regular at a bar I worked at 100 years ago. Um, and it was kind of cool. He was like, "Oh, I just met a guy at a bar, and we were talking about Buffy, and then we talked about Slayerfest." And I was like, "I know Ian." And then I think it was that guy that he met gave him like sent him the copy. So he was like, "Do you want it?" And I was like, ugh. But the friend that has it said to me that he was an early hater. Like he was like, "This shouldn't happen. This is going to be bad." And then he said he read the script and that it made him fully have faith in it. Like, so that is like promising because I do think you and I, even if it's not our favorite, we'll still like enjoy it
I'm
having
there.
it.
Mhm.
And I know that about us, but like I hope it can win over early haters. I hope it can win over these
Yeah.
people that are like, no, I don't want this, it's gonna be bad. And like it can be that good that it wins those people over.
I was tempted because Ian texted me and he was like, "Do you want it?" I said,
I was like,
I
what do we
didn't really
do?
have to think on it, and I don't. I don't want it. I think maybe when it comes out, I would like to have it just to compare to what
That
the
would be
pilot
fun to do.
actually
Yeah.
looks like. But I do want those surprises. However, we did get, a little bit of intel from your friend who did
Yes.
read it, and it's sort of the vibe of the script. A few little key things they are a little bit spoilery, but they're not crazy. They're like very much set up. And that's the stuff that I've been itching to know, and I would like to know.
Because some of it is stuff we have talked about that we
Mhm.
saw, but we just couldn't confirm. But the big thing that I don't think we talked about in an earlier episode is there had been a rumor going around that I saw, I think it was like comic book comic book resources or comicbook.com, there was an article that had like some things that were untrue where it said that like Nova's going to be Buffy's daughter. We know that that's not the
Mhm.
case. But it also said, which I've heard now confirmed to be true, that on top of us discussing how the Uber Vamps might pop up, that the like conceit of the episode is a bunch of vampires that had been buried in the Hellmouth when it collapsed in 2003, right?
Yeah.
Will rise, and that will be the like vampire attack, and that will be like jokey about they're from that era, they're dressed like that era, they've just been like underground, and because New Sunnydale is being built, which goes along with what you were saying about thinking that's the
Yes.
crater, that they come out of it because of the construction of New Sunnydale. It
It
like
looks like a construction site. I'm telling
mm,
you, it like matches up with this theory of vampires buried beneath Old Sunnydale. And what a concept as well. So this would obviously, right, like let's unpack this. So these vampires, like at the end of season, I already hear it. At the end of season 7, no, everybody left, all the monsters and stuff. We can say some of them stayed behind, right? It's, it's believable. So some of them stayed behind, and then when the whole crater went down, they weren't jumping from rooftop to
right.
rooftop onto school bus to get out
It
of
was
there. They went
daytime.
down. Okay, they went down, and they would have been buried down there, maybe been able to carve out little like, layers and caves and, a new like cave system down
And
there.
we
But
have
like,
seen that with vampires.
yes. And it would breed almost a new kind of vampire. Like, how have these vampires evolved? How are they
Right.
different from your standard vampire? Because they've been deprived of sunlight. I mean, I guess they're always deprived
Right.
of vampires
They haven't been outside.
outside the outside lands. But it just like, yeah, it breeds like a new kind of vampire. And we did see Chase wearing like an older, like 2000s sort of outfit. And I
I
don't
was
know, like that's a really exciting idea for me.
I was rewatching the I Knew I Don't You Did Last Summer the other day as like background.
Mm.
Um and I was like, I could see her as a cool vampire. Yeah, I could see this.
Yeah.
Like watching her, I was like, okay, yeah, I could
Like
see
a
it.
Darla that goes beyond the first couple episodes. Like
Hmm.
I could see her sticking around for
Yeah.
like, your handful of that's your character for your handful of episodes.
Yes.
Although I feel like this show's not gonna be very long, so I guess what would handful of episodes be now? Three?
I know, right? I feel like it'll be 8 episodes, maybe.
But yeah, and she's dressed up, and we saw her on set, and it
She
looked
looks
cool. And
good.
she was with another guy too, who
Yeah.
was walking with her, who was also dressed very similarly. And so if the rumor is true that she is a vampire, that makes total sense that they have crawled out of buried old Sunnydale. Oof,
I
I'm getting chills. That would be really cool if a bunch of vampires like crawled out, because then you get your Buffy season 6 like crawling out of the grave sort of moment with all of these vampires. And like, how crazy, or I don't know if you told me or if I saw this, because I might have seen it on Reddit, but that the Uber Vamp is like a confirmed thing as well. As like, we are getting an Uber Vamp, but it's like a different kind of Uber Vamp. It is an evolved version of the Uber Vamp.
Yes. So also that leads me to the fact that I have heard that the script going around is an earlier draft, that a lot of
Yeah.
things have been changed since then. So, like, someone told me that in a draft there is an Uber vamp, but like that, the person that told me that said that they could see it having been edited out.
Oh
Because
no, I would kind of like the Uber
I
Vamp
would too. I
back.
would too. But the big news that's come out of the fact that I can confirm the script circulating is from last year and that has been
Okay.
edited since then is that her name is not Nova. In a
Her name
draft,
is Nova in the draft or not Nova
in
in
the
the
draft
draft?
it is, but it is not. It has been changed since.
I don't know how I feel about this because I kind of liked Nova. It
I
had that
got
little
I
interesting funk,
I
you
got
know?
used to it, honestly. I
Yeah.
like I know people would like didn't like it at first, but I don't know. Buffy, we like the name Buffy because of Buffy, not because it's like
Nova's an easy name to say too.
it
Like
is. It, like
what is it going to be? Denise?
uh
Sue. Watch it be
I
Sue. Sissy
Susan.
Spacek.
Susan the Vampire Slayer. But like, I don't know, but they probably picked something wackier because also her dad, when the casting was announced, her dad had posted a screenshot on his Insta story that said Ryan Kiera Armstrong as Nina.
Nina.
So that made me curious, but I've also heard that I think either that's not at all or that was a draft. But the person that told me this said that they have not seen the real name they landed on be out there anywhere.
Really?
Yeah,
Mm. Oh, I'm so curious.
I know.
Damn. I would prefer Nova. We could go. I'm guessing we're getting an end name, right? So I
right,
guess that's
that's
the safe
yeah.
bet here.
I'm like,
Um,
what are other end names? I don't know.
I don't know. It's just really exciting. This thing is moving forward. This thing and Chase is also on a show called
The studio.
The Studio.
It
The
just
Studio. That's
ended.
correct.
Yeah.
Yes. And the guy editing The Studio, I have it right here. Eric Kissack is actually editing. He edited
Okay.
this studio and he's editing this new pilot of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So I haven't watched the studio, but you watched the studio.
Yeah.
What do you think of that editing?
I really liked it.
Promising?
It's a very fast-paced show.
Mm,
And they do a lot of like long shots.
mm,
And it's edited really well, so like it can stress you out. I mean, it's like execs planning a movie. There's not like
yeah.
no one's dying, but it's still like the editing helps build the like tension and stress when they're like
But that was
meeting.
effective in
Yeah, and I thought it like really worked when it like there's a long shot and editing the way they would edit the long shots and the way they'd edit back and forth when
because
there's
we need
like
to build
something
tension
stressful.
here. This
Hmm.
is a horror show at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
Yeah.
We do need to build tension and scare a little bit
So I
and a
do
show
think
about monsters.
that will translate well to like a show about
Cool,
monsters.
because that's the next step, right? Is they're going into that editing and getting all the footage sort of sifted through, and it is y'all. We are moving along. We are getting there, and
We are getting there.
I'm just excited for the next little bit of droppings that we're gonna get.
The you know what I like was thinking about? I was like, man, the only thing I'm bummed about with them rapping is like we probably won't get any new updates for like a longer string of time
Probably
now,
a while. Yeah.
right? Because I don't I mean, again, you just said you don't know either. I don't know how that works with like, do they not film anything until it's official and then they start filming
I
again?
don't know how I truly don't know how that works. If anybody knows what like sort of the life of streaming is and after a pilot, is done, does it have to be like fully edited or,
Right?
I imagine this is going to be a fairly quick process
Yeah,
though, and
that's
the
true.
editing and the like pilot's going to be put together. It may use some tweaking before it actually goes out, but they are going to get a product together to present
Because
pretty quick.
you know what I think about that is pretty interesting is, I mean, I know you don't watch a show, but we covered The Magicians, right? And so we've had a couple, like Summer is a co-host. Um, the pilot episode is shot on location. They used like a
Mhm.
college set, and then once the show got picked up, they built it
Which
as a
just looks
set.
like what's happening here.
Yeah,
They're using a lot of like on location stuff. So I imagine that the pilot will get put together fairly quickly. That'll get presented. And I think the next bit of news, hopefully, that we'll get is whether or not it has been picked up, which is like it's going to get picked up. The
I
show's
really
getting
do
picked
think
up.
it is. Yes.
Yes. And I feel like that's going to be probably one of the next things we're going to come back to talk about. So
Yeah.
guess we'll just have to see where this is going. I'm excited. This is Buffy the Vampire Slayer's back. Chloe Zhao even printed on the back of that, whatever page
Ah.
that was. It looked like a schedule page to me.
Oh, I
Like
thought
it
it
had
was
a
like
little
the
bit of
end.
it had a little bit of like scheduling details on it that I could notice
Because
that was
Sarah
like
was
being
good.
covered up
She
because it
knows
said
we're all
it said
zooming.
like locations is one of the words that's right there. And Chloe Zhao put a Buffy quote: "The hardest thing in this world is to live in it. Be brave, live Buffy Summers. Let's embark on this adventure together with joy, empathy, curiosity, and respect. Life is both beautiful and difficult. We will be rewarded and tested. We will be brave. We will live to the fullest and know that we are never alone. We always have each other. Happy first day,
I could
Chloe.
cry.
Love." And that's a good
Uh.
place to end here, I guess.
I just got to add the person that has been my source
Ah,
sent me a photo, expiring like photo on
yeah.
Insta DMs, and it was a selfie of him with Sarah.
Was Sarah or Chloe?
Sarah. I was like, ah.
How do I get into this? Okay, my goal is already to get into season two. So I'm putting it out there now that I will be in season two somehow.
Listen,
Go.
I'm just reforming our pitch of how to get us in Scream. We get in season 2 by There Is a Podcast. There would be podcasts about Buffy in
Sure.
this
Yes.
world. Great, we
A,
can be
po-
the podcast.
a podcast duo who are also vampires.
Sure, whatever. Sure, I would love to get killed by Buffy. I don't care as long as I get to be there. But like, I
Oh,
do think in that
goodness.
world that would make sense,
It
right?
would
There,
make sense. It's there. Yeah.
yeah. So
Hmm.
it's us. Great, call us. Chloe's out. We're available. Yeah, I guess that brings us to the end of this one, right? I think that
Yes.
covers everything.
I think
There's been a
so.
few casting announcements, but I think those are more minor characters. We will see. But yeah, we're both excited. This is like, I think about this like 10 times a day, this
Mhm.
revival. And I can't wait to see it. If you like us, find us on social media at SlayerFestX98. We have a Patreon. Any and all support is much appreciated. We'll be going through Buffy season 5 because it is turning 25 at the end of the month. Oof. All those episodes will go up on Patreon. We're going to be covering Angel season 4 soon as well. And I even bullied Zach into coming back. So yeah,
For an episode.
for half an episode. But yeah, make sure you follow us and we'll see you next time. Bye.